The grand hall was silent, heavy with grief. Black drapes lined the walls, and a polished casket rested in the center, surrounded by flickering candles. The world had come to mourn Selina Armitage, the billionaire heiress whose life had ended tragically, or so everyone believed. Executives, socialites, and distant relatives gathered in solemn rows. Murmurs of sympathy floated through the air. The family patriarch, Richard Armitage, stood at the front, flanked by lawyers and assistants, his face a mask of stoic sorrow. The priest stepped forward to begin the ceremony, his voice calm but solemn. "We gather to honor the life of Selina Armitage." Suddenly, the doors at the back of the hall burst open. A man stepped inside, his uniform dusty and worn. He carried no flowers, no official papers. Just a pair of garbage bags slung over his shoulder and a face etched with urgency. "Stop the funeral," he shouted, voice trembling but firm. Gasps erupted throughout the hall. People turned, shocked. The priest paused, uncertain, as the murmurs grew louder. "Who is this?" Richard demanded, his deep voice cutting through the whispers. The man stepped closer, lowering his hood. "My name is Tom. I work in sanitation, but I know the truth about Selina Armitage. She's not dead." The room fell silent again. Richard's face turned pale. His perfectly tailored suit seemed suddenly inadequate, his empire of power and wealth irrelevant in the face of this audacious claim. "What are you talking about?" he demanded. Tom dropped the garbage bags to the floor, revealing envelopes and papers inside. He held up a phone. "Proof. Evidence she's alive, and I know where she is." Gasps filled the room again. Executives whispered frantically. The priest blinked in disbelief. And in that instant, a secret buried for months, maybe years, threatened to explode. Scene 2. The revelation approximately equals 1,000 words. Tom had been a garbage collector for over a decade, quietly observing the sprawling estates of the Armitage family. It was a job no one noticed, but one that gave him access to the discarded, the hidden, and the overlooked. He had stumbled upon unusual garbage bags weeks before, bags that weren't supposed to leave the Armitage estate. Inside were papers, letters, and even a laptop that hinted at a cover-up. As the crowd watched him, Tom held up one of the envelopes. "I found this in the back of your estate, sir. It contains messages from Selina. She planned to disappear to protect herself from your empire." Richard stepped forward, fury rising. "This is preposterous. You're delusional. Step aside." Tom shook his head. "Check the files, sir. The hospital records, the security cameras, they were altered. Someone wanted everyone to think she was dead. But I saw her last week, alive, in the city." Whispers spread through the hall. Journalists scribbled frantically, executives exchanged nervous glances, and distant relatives began murmuring anxiously. "Why didn't she contact anyone?" asked Richard, voice breaking slightly. Tom's eyes met his. "Because she was afraid. Afraid of what her family, her fortune, and the people around her would do. She had enemies in high places. And she knew that even you, sir, wouldn't protect her from them." The billionaire patriarch's hands clenched into fists. This was not just an interruption, it was a revelation that threatened to shatter his empire. "Where is she?" he demanded, his voice low and dangerous. Tom took a deep breath. "She's in a safe house, miles from here. And only I know how to reach her. But I need your word. No one follows us, no one interferes. She won't come back if she feels threatened." Richard paused, looking around at the shocked faces in the room. The priest, the guests, the lawyers, all witnesses to this moment. He finally nodded, though reluctantly. "Very well. Lead the way." Tom's eyes softened. "Good. But remember, this isn't about money, power, or inheritance. It's about her life. Scene 3. The journey to the safe house approximately equals 1,000 words. The convoy left the funeral hall in silence. Richard followed Tom in his black SUV, flanked by security. Journalists and onlookers were left behind, buzzing with confusion and speculation. The drive was long, winding through abandoned roads and quiet neighborhoods. Tom remained focused, occasionally glancing at Richard. "Why help her?" Richard finally asked, breaking the silence. Tom's hands tightened on the wheel. "Because she trusted me, and someone had to. You think I'm just a garbage collector, but I've been the eyes and ears no one notices. I've seen the secrets your family hides, sir, and I couldn't let them take her life. Richard's jaw tightened. You dare lecture me? Tom shook his head. No, I'm just telling the truth. You lost her once in your greed and ambition. Don't lose her again because of fear. Hours passed. The city faded into rural roads. The car came to a stop near a small, unassuming house. Tom turned off the engine and looked at Richard. She's inside. Please. No sudden moves. Let her come to you. Richard hesitated, then nodded. Together, they approached the door. Tom knocked softly, then stepped back. A moment passed. The door creaked open, and there she was. Selina Armitage, alive, thin, but healthy, eyes wide with shock and relief. Dad, Richard whispered. She's safe, Tom said softly, stepping aside. Selina stepped forward slowly, glancing at her father, her eyes wary. Why now? Why reveal yourself at the funeral? Because the world believed you were dead, Tom replied. And the people who tried to hurt you were closing in. I had to act before it was too late. Richard took a step forward, speechless. For the first time, the empire builder was powerless. Words failed him. All he could do was look at the daughter he thought he had lost forever. Scene 4. The truth and reconciliation approximately equals 1,000 words. Inside the safe house, Selina explained everything. Months ago, she had discovered a conspiracy within her father's business empire. Rivals, jealous associates, and even distant relatives plotting against her. She had staged her death to protect herself. I had to disappear, Selina said quietly, glancing at her father. I couldn't trust anyone, not even family. You wouldn't have been able to protect me from everyone. Richard sank into a chair, guilt overwhelming him. Selina, I failed you. I should have. Selina placed a hand on his arm. You didn't fail me. I chose to leave. I had to survive, Dad. That's why I needed someone outside, someone like Tom to watch over me. Richard looked at Tom, eyes wide. You risked everything, for her. Tom nodded. Because someone had to, and she deserved a chance at life without fear. The room was quiet, filled only with the sound of wind outside and hearts slowly uniting. Richard realized something crucial. Money, power, and influence meant nothing if life itself was at stake. For hours, they planned carefully, how to secure Selina's position, how to protect her from threats, and how to reconcile with those who mattered most. Tom became the silent guardian, trusted by both father and daughter. The aftermath. Weeks later, the Armitage Empire reorganized. Selina took a measured but firm step back into her role, and Richard learned the value of listening, protecting, and trusting those outside his inner circle. Tom returned to his life as a garbage collector, unnoticed by most, but forever respected by those who knew the truth. He had stopped a funeral, revealed the truth, and saved a life, quietly, heroically. Selina never forgot him. Richard never forgot him. And the world never knew the full story, but for the people who mattered most, one lesson was clear. Courage, integrity, and selfless action could appear in the most unexpected places. The end. A story of courage, loyalty, and revelation.